The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning. Tablet and pen time. My name is Ray. Last name is Reynolds. You know what? It's kind of fun. I like taking people and kind of like Humpty Dumpty rebuilding them. Maybe you'll let me do that for you today. Now, the bottom line is I got to million to billion through corporate structure, and I'll show you exactly what I did. Bottom line, this is also live. It's live 6 days a week. So if you want to coach, I'm the right one because I'll hold your hand. Plus, I'll do most of the work for you and hand you the keys. So let's play. No pictures, no recording. Bottom line is I'm online 6 days a week showing people how to get their own goodies. See, I didn't like being used and abused as a kid. I wanted to get out of hell. Born in a taxi, way to Gardena Hospital. She didn't want me. I got to be with Mrs. Hope, the she-devil from hell. So your journey today, you'll learn and begin with me as I tell you a little bit about my story and rebuild you, if you allow me to. Now, the ultimate goal is going to be up to you to do a couple things. Number one, look behind the curtain. I don't believe you look behind the curtain. I believe you follow silly people and taught you how to do it wrong anyway. Well, I'm going to teach you the right way today. So understand, I got a couple of problems. I got to tell you this right up front. When I was in the 6th grade, they told me I was retarded because I write with both hands and talk at the same time. That's like 3 things at once. And they said basically because of that, they wanted me in a special class. And then they tested me and found out my IQ is 203 with total recall on most things. And I ain't rhyming all the time. So sorry to say today I end up rhyming with you. Well, that's just who I am today. If you sit there doing the same damn thing every day waiting for the bus with no ticket, guess what's going to happen? Nothing. I like you to act like the building's on fire. I want you to understand you've been having reruns long enough. We have to change your path, change the way you do things starting today. Now, I want you to get out your personal credit cards right away. They need a sticky in the back of the cards. The sticky has to have the limit of the card, maintain 25%, never pass 29%. Now, these cards are worth 50,000 apiece. This is basically 100,000. If you did exactly what I told you to do, that'd give you basically 71,000 of safety credit. From there, you keep doing this crap. Sorry to say, you follow ducks and sheep. This was designed by me years ago when I worked with Ken Yarborough. The bottom line is learning how to play the game. I want you to build your line of defense. So let's understand TRW used to make bicycle parts. Then they got in the information business. It stood for Thomas Raymond Woolridge. Then they basically stood for the reports wrong. In 1996, it became Asperian. The reality is basically understand this here. If you keep doing this crap to your family and you, all you do is bring the pain home. You jacked it up. You dropped a score. You got stuck. You couldn't get any more, and you can't write out dilly squat. I want you to understand what I designed years ago and learn how to play and quit guessing anyway. Good, fair, or no. All cards use the 29% rule, but two. So we got to learn to play, and I'm certified by the NACB. We get to play today. Now, if you want the American dream, I think you're doing it all wrong. I want you to listen very carefully. You need to build residual income, 1,000 to 100,000 a month. That's what you need to do. You never did that. That's why you keep having the same rerun again and again. So let's understand chapter 18. It's right in front of you. You can find this copy as well. It says a corporation is a legal person. I was lucky while I was being used and abused as a kid. I heard that at a poker game, listening in the corner, Mrs. Hope's house. I wrote it down. I was 7.5 years old. I didn't pay attention. It may sue or be sued. And I learned that basically at 12.5 years old too. So let's understand, what did I do? I had to do something. I heard a corporation's a legal person. So I went down to the Torrance Police Department. Next was a library next door. Ma'am, what does this mean? She walked away. She was rude. She came back 5 minutes later. Here's a mock of his buck. I'm going to kick on the shins. See, she gave me a book. I read the book. You've been trying to find that book all your life. If you don't have a real blueprint of someone who's made millions and billions through corporate structure, besides, you're going to get a hold of that person, it's me, can get you where you want to go, because you're going to have to learn how to play the game and win. I went back to the library for 2 years. I sent away my money order for $10, Secretary of State of California. The fee today is $30. So understand, I'm basically the founder of Helping Hand Industries. Now, I got about $100,000 of credit cards came in the mail at that time. People got credit cards in the mail without applying back in the 70s and 80s. I got named in the movie Dave as well. Next thing I want you to think about today and understand, I want you to learn about trade name, trademark, and copyright. You see, at 12.5 years old, when I started the Orange County Blind Center as a kid, I used the word Braille, and I got in trouble for that too, because it was trade name, trademark, and copyright. I had to create something called division process. Can you write that down for me, please? So let's understand today. Your goal should be never bring the pain home. I'm going to give you the solutions to basically solve that problem. Next thing, when I was a little boy, they kept saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket. I asked what that meant to the grown-ups, and all I got back was, that's all, folks. See, the grown-ups, as far as I'm concerned, when I was a little kid, they were stupid, because they kept saying crap they didn't know what they're talking about. You have a corporation today, goody for you. Check it on Secretary of State's website, because when they sue it, they sue you, because your name's all over it too. You got a choice today. Now, if you got an LLC, be prepared January 1st. The Treasury Department is going to give you the CTA Act and kick your assets too, because you don't know how to play. Next, we had to put our ducks in a row. They said that to me as a kid. And I said, what does it mean? They couldn't answer the question too. Corporation, 3 divisions, $1 million of credit, and never bring the pain home. I gave them the solution like I'm trying to give you. Now, warning about me, I am blunt and I'm honest. If you basically, I'm going to tell it like it is. If you follow stupid, you end up doing stupid. You're not stupid, but you did stupid. It's not easy. But understand, I like to build millionaires. If you want to be next, let me know. But you're going to have to listen and learn and understand. I'm Ray Reynolds, the Godfather of Credit. I'm going to tell you what to do. You will have to follow through. And the reality is I'm going to treat you like you're 2 years old as well. The goal is to never bring the pain home. There's your goal. I've been helping generation after generation for 45 years. So my foolproof program works every time as long as you followed through and do what I asked you to do. Now I actually incorporate rich and famous people. They're kind of fun. Even homeless people having fun too. Even people coming out of prison. There's Freeway Ricky, Dickie Ross. And then from there, people coming out of prison after 26 years. Within 6 months, I rebuilt his credit and I got him his first dump truck. And that's the business he wanted to do to make millions a year. Your problem is you don't understand how it works. So let's get back in time for a second or two. All right, January 30th, all right, 1934, of the Reserve Act. That's basically President Franklin D. Roosevelt. You probably got your SS5 for SSN to create your 1040 tax return when you're 14 to 16. And that's what they do basically from there. Now, when Nixon took the gold standard out in 71, that means every woman at the hospital has to sign the SS5 for the SSN for the baby. We are bonded up to 35 million apiece. Your problem is you don't understand how to play, and let's show you the mistake you've been making anyway. SS5 equals SSN. That's for the 1040 tax return. You get 1. All right, so we the people. All right, so that means tax, 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 and probate when we're dead. They reach in the ground and take that too. And the time of death at the hospital happens to be for the state and federal government, not for you. Now let's compare these two. Can you do this with your hands for me for a minute? Let's think. Our paycheck is tax, 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 and then we get the leftover. And we're supposed to live on that. The SS4 is not taxed until you're profitable. So you get to pay all the bills first. So if we basically analyze this correctly, you all brought the pain home, which sucks, and you screwed up because you don't know how to play. SS5 equals SSN 1040. SS4 is basically SS4 1120, known as the tax ID. Now you get a second chance if you want to play. Now, if you're one of those tax protesters and don't file tax returns, just do yourself a favor. Go to prison like Wesley Snipes did. Listen to his stupid attorneys and CPAs. He went for 3 years and $5 million fine. If not, listen and learn. You can go to irs.gov today and get a hold of a 1244. That means you can file one tax return and almost never pay tax anyway. So you can accomplish your goal learning how to play the game. The lack of knowledge is why people make stupid things happen all the time. Again, 5 things I want you to write down right now. I want you to focus on each one. First of all cash credit and credit from the corporation under tax IDs are write-off. It's kind of like free money. Where are you going to get the money to start a business of millions and billions? All right, win the lottery, get a raise. So if we get the corporate cash credit for your corporation and you maintain the payment, you get to write it all off. It can finance itself. That means you don't steal the money from your family and hurt your family. You build a line of defense called division process. Building what? Legacy for your family. So you get to play. I call it free money. Why don't we take $50,000 off of a card and maintain the payment of $612.26? That's what the average person wastes in a given month. I want you to listen very carefully to be a corporate investor. All right, understand. Property franchise storage units. I'd like you to think of maybe $100 a week, worst case. And what do? We work on that program and basically become a corporate millionaire anyway. So if we took $100 a week and I gave you assignment, you follow through, and I do my part for you, I'll get you from $5,000 to $15,000 of credit. Then you can get into more and more and more. That takes away your excuses today. From there, it's like flipping properties. All right, the reality is I had 17 and a half. I had 19 houses. I was having fun. I built my first house at 16. So I'm flipping houses and having fun, but here's the problem. It became a pain in the ass hat. I had, at 17, 19 properties. They told me I could get number 20, loan to value problem. I transferred them into my divisions, freed up that problem. Then I found out I'm dealing with the contractor, the subcontractor that stand outside Home Depot. I'm dealing with the lien releases, mechanics liens, the salespeople, the real estate people that all lie and try to steal your money. So I found it was a pain in the ass at. So by the time I was 21, I decided one thing. Every property I basically fixed up, I would sell it as long as I'm in the bank. I want you to write down assignment of mortgage. I'd like you to learn to play. So we take an example, an apartment complex, dissect it, all right, the deed, and we become the bank, the assignment of mortgage. We get to collect money for 30 years. Wouldn't you like to just collect the money? If they don't pay, you get the property back anyway. Example, nice lady. Husband died a couple years ago. He asked if I'd make sure I'd just keep an eye on her once in a while. She was going to sell her house that her husband built her and give the money to her son's business and go live with her daughter with the kids to be the nanny. That wasn't the dream. So the reality, I said, no, let's do this. Let's do a reverse mortgage, take the money, leverage it to $3 million, which she did, corporation in 2 divisions. One division did a franchise, one of the divisions did what? Literally real estate apartment complex. She built a line of defense, you understand? The line of defense gave her the ability, literally, all right, to bring in $100,000 a month. All right, residual income, and that's what the corporation does. She saved a husband, or they basically worked with the son, gave some money, takes care of the kids when she wants to. So I'd like you to think about something. John and Nancy here. John and Nancy, all right, we're going to sell their house and downsize. I said, okay, what happens with that gains tax? I said, why don't we try something different? Let's sell the house and let's do an assignment of mortgage through escrow. And that way you take that down payment, buy another house. You don't have to pay any tax. Borrow money is not taxable. I call this hopping. They've been doing this 4 times now. All right, the reality is they're having fun. Now, in the first one, they only get $1,200 a month difference. The next 2, they did $2,000. So they're doing almost about $9,000 a month, and they want to keep doing this as well. It's kind of fun. So it's like the real estate game. I created Homestead Blocker, UCC went out of mortgage. The real estate, financial series, become the bank, buckets of money, tax balancing. If you want a copy of those today, it's shipping and handling fee of $2.99. Use Zelle, take a picture of Zelle, Ray Reynolds recipient, ray@racecredit.com, RW, you write down when you use Zelle, and you put your name and your phone number too. Simple. Now, the United States of America Incorporated, what happened? We have a constitution. We have the Bill of Rights and amendments. They take 50 corporations, they turn them into states, states become cities, and then they create a Chapter 9 bankruptcy. That way they can bankrupt the debt and stay in business in front of you, and you could have did the same thing if you learned to play with no intent to do fraud. So let's understand today. We the people, corporation's a legal person, and we can stop bringing the pain home. The ultimate goal. I want you to write down division of me. Write down division of me. I want to show you what I created for me, not to bring the pain home. The form SS4, it says legal name of entity. It's right there. That's what the banks, groceries, and cities use. And it says individual person. So I can put a person's name, corporation, division, subsidiary. Make sense? I can build a corporate umbrella. All right, we got to actually build up to the $1 million. Now, a division of me, all right, I understand, I want you to pay attention to this, because applications say, all right, SSN or all right, SSEIN. So we get to play, or tax ID. So we get to get a credit, division of me, we get to get a property, and we can get a franchise. Okay, we can stop bringing the pain home, and we can play the right game. Every tax ID you allow me to obtain for you, or even SSN, I can start a credit file instantly. It took you 2 or 3 years to figure yours out, learning the wrong things anyway. With me, I correct the things you didn't learn in the first place. So every tax ID, if you allow, or SSN, I'm going to set up a spare and change you an Equifax instantly for you. From here, here's my dashboard. My dashboard allows me to pick SSN or SS4. See right there? It allows me to pick on the behalf of a person, corporation, or division. Okay, person, corporation, division, or subsidiary. And that's what my dashboard as an affiliate allows me to do for you if you want. That means I'm going to set up credit reports and add history right away. Now, the bottom line for here, the division of me. So I want you to think, and I want you to understand instant credit report. So let's take the Lamborghini, one of the part of the collection I obtained years ago too. Here's the key. The payment is $6,800 a month. Okay, if I can't pay it, they take it away. They report it to my credit file. I got shitty credit now, and they report it to the IRS as a 1099-C. So now I got double shitty credit and an IRS problem. Now, I'm not stupid, so I wouldn't do it that way. Corporation buys a Lamborghini, and they sue the corp. They still sue me. I'm a duck and a sheep. Not stupid again. What did I do? I have no intent to do fraud. So I bought the Lamborghini as a division of a corporation. I guaranteed it. Remember SSN? I guaranteed it as a division of me. I have no intent to do fraud. You allowed yourself to be one. That sucks, and you brought the damn pain home, and that should stop today if you can handle the truth. So again, no intent to do fraud. Now, if something goes wrong, I'm going to do the 3-step I invented for myself. You might want to write it down today for you. I'm going to disconnect, isolate, incorporate. I'm going to run all my companies, my properties, my storage units, my real estate, all my franchises, my buildings, and everything I'm going to do. I'm protecting the corp and my family, what you should have did in the first place. So I got this over here as a problem. Under the Federal Protection Act, public record, if I can't save it within 6 months, I'm going to bankrupt the hell out of it, throw the sucker away. See, your problem is you allowed yourself to be one. And the reality is that sucks. You sign a lease, it's a division process. Every property has to be a division because you don't know who's going to slip and fall and sue you and kind of mess you up too. Next thing is money. I know on TikTok, Google, and YouTube, all this, they get an LASEC card. I stop the crap. All the IRS says on a tax return is S is for receives the money. No tax is due till you're profitable. And as long as you create debt, manageable debt, you'll never pay tax. Every card through the corporation and tax ID you're allowed to daisy chain it up to 99 more. That's $100 million. So I want you to understand division of me, division for each item you're trying to do too. Now, Mary's great. She called me after she screwed everything up. Mary's Ivy League education. She's a VP of Apple. Her husband's a VP of IBM. They made money, like $500,000 a year. Mary wanted to have a restaurant. She hired her attorney and her CPA. And then the reality is she jacked up her credit, $98,000, and dropped her score. What the hell happened to me? She asked the attorney and CPA. And all they can do is go, that's all, folks. See, how many stupid CPAs and attorneys have screwed you over? They have no idea how to be an entrepreneur. Okay, so what did Mary do? She signed the lease of a restaurant for 10 years with 3 options of 10 years. Restaurant failed, bankrupted, then she was forced to file personal bankruptcy because she guaranteed the lease. I call that stupid. The reality is this is what everybody seems to want to do, is be kind of silly and dumb. So what happened is she filed a divorce because her husband divorced her 3 weeks after they lost their home. So understand. I want you to pay attention today because I believe you've all brought the pain home and there's no reason you had to in the first place. So if Mary would have listened to me, the restaurant would have been a division. She would have guaranteed it as a division, and she would have got rid of the pieces that were bad and never hurt the corp and her family. But instead, she came to me after the fact, after she screwed it all up. Every one of you have the right to stop bringing the pain home and become a certified CFO. Now, I want to build your corporate umbrella my way because your way sucks, in my opinion. So the reality is very simple. Later on, as I get the corp and the divisions for you, I want you to fire yourself personally, that SSN. I want you to quit being a duck and a sheep because that's kind of silly and dumb. So that'll be down the road as we rebuild you my way. If you have a corporation today, I'd like you to look at Secretary of State's website and find your corp. Why? Because you're the incorporated in the officers list, and you probably use your home address like 87% of people do. So if they sue that, they sue you. You're a duck and a sheep. I'm sorry to say that kind of sucks. The line of defense. All right, that's what we need to create for you because there's always something that's going to go right and wrong. So if we play, here's the $100 million building across the street from South Coast Plaza Mall. I obtained. Here's a $1 million Lamborghini. I showed you the keys. Here's a $5 million mansion I obtained as well, and $1 million race boat. I obtained those. Why didn't you? Are these turned on today? See, it's not easy. You got to work your tail off and want it bad enough. I like goodies. I only show the goodies I obtained. And there's only a couple of them too. We get to play the game and we get to win. Now, if you let me add you to my credit system, the way I designed it when Yarborough and TRW and Spearman years ago, we could play and look at your goals today. Next thing is how many days are left of this year. You need to make sure you accomplish the goal every day. 45 years in person or online helping people like you. Ultimate goal, write down credit, loan, and money. Can you do that for me? See, when you told the bank you needed the money, they said no. Don't need it, here's some more. So let's do this. Let's take $100,000 and put it in a corporate bank account. Oh, you don't have it? Let me get you $100,000 on a card. Write a check. Put in the bank, reference 3 times 5, and get up to 1.5 million. Your corporation, all right, we're going to design it my way, coach you, and do much work for you anyway, so you don't screw it up, is going to have a division for franchise, a division for apartment complex. You're going to create a line of defense, and I'm going to get you residual income up to $1 million a month. I had $1.1 million per day. All right, so let's understand, you got to knock off the crap you do. It sucks. Financial freedom. Don't you understand? If you don't build residual income, all you're going to have is the same damn rerun you've been having all your life. You want 100,000? Trade lines are crap. They're fraud. I add you to my credit system. We'll use the history of my credit that I have for you. And when I pop you the card, about $53 million worth. And I want you to get books like this so you can put the corps and the divisions in a separate book. Because by the time I'm done with you, I want you to have $1 million of cash credit. I want you to see it, believe it, go get it. Why you did not build residual income, I'll never understand. All right, let's get started today. So let's understand. Your choice as you want to be an investor, I don't time to stock market. Yeah, I always do the Home Depot, the Facebook, and all those in Apple stock market. Just leave it alone. I don't let that be my retirement, just over there to play. Put $1 million in Bitcoin. Hell, I did that too. So your goal is this. Do you want to run a business or own the business? I don't want you to run it. I want you to own it as a division. I want you to look at the expos this year and next year. 4 points of income, franchise. Okay, simple. Next, I want you to think about real estate. I'd like you to think about, on top of that, profit sharing and leveraging money. Okay, leveraging money and credit. I want to get you ready for that. Is that okay? If you're stuck with me every day for 6 weeks, as long as it takes. But again, my client, I have them in escrow buying a laundromat. Okay. Now, by the line, we reduced it to 110,000. So here's what happens. 110. They want 45,000 down in escrow. That's what he did. Now, what did he do? He took it off of a card. They gave a checkbook. So all he's do is maintain the little payment. Next, all right, if he runs it, the net income will be $47,500 per month. There's a management company already in place. So the goal is, the answer is no. From there, the management company, if you share that percentage with them, he gets to bring in $30,000 per month, positive cash flow for his division. He's fighting me about basically wanting to run it, and I said, hell no. So I told him, and I tell people what to do all the time. You have to get used to me about that, because I don't want you to do your way. I think your way sucks. You see, this division getting the 30,000 a month, then we're going to do it again and again and again. A division gives the ability of different functions. I have another client buying basically Chevron gas station. They want $1.4 million. His down payment is $250,000. Okay, and now he's not even in, all right, the state that this one's in. I don't want him to go do it. I want the management company to manage it for him. So again, get starting today. The bottom line is you become an investor, and that's what you do with corporate credit. Running a business is a pain in the asset. You don't run it, all right, you own it. And that's an entity, in case you want more than one. Maybe you want a storage unit, maybe you want a franchise, maybe you want this, you want that. Again, it's like Faizuli's Colombian coffee. Okay, we're going to have a lot of Colombian foods and things like this to be a better competition with basically Starbucks. So here, what we're going to do is our projections are about $90,000 a week, all right, and create a bunch of jobs. So we're going to do it by multiplication. We're going to add it for every division, and that's the ultimate goal everyone should do. Again, division process, case one doesn't work. Dissect you into pieces. I want you to think about, I have a 3-month program for coaching. We're going to focus on real estate, franchise, and storage units. because that's what I want you to do to build residual income. As we do this, this is a coaching program, all right, to talk about your current business and your future business and get you ready to do what I want you to do. For 3 months, we're going to work our tail off. I'm going to hold your hand personally, every one of you. I only put 10 people in each one of these programs at a time. Again, what is your goal? Residual income up to $50,000 a month as we play the game. The next thing is any and all classes that I do, you're going to be in them all. Weekly video conferencing with the group, weekly call with me. From there, rapid to push your personal scores up all the time. You're going to come into the office in the conference room. We're going to talk about past, present, future. We're going to blueprint you. If you can't fly in, if you're out of state, then we're going to be Zooming it with you. The goal is to have me certify you as a certified CFO, projections, all right, limits, all right, phone calls, creditors, daisy chaining credit up to $1 million, and increased limits every 46 days. Okay, very simple. I want you to understand you can put 1,000 down literally by Zelle if you want to lock it in today. If you don't, by Monday it's going to be gone anyway. All right, your balance will be $69.99. So this is about an $8,000 program. From there, you can break down the payments along your end, and they're all paid within that 90 days. You can even use the credit I billed you to end up paying for the program once you put your deposit down today. Now, the 6 months program is going to do the same thing, but it's going to basically focusing on getting your first location for real estate, franchise, storage units, and laundromat. From there, you're going to be able to invest in your first business as a division. All right, again, same thing, going to certify you, going to get you in the program, hold your hand, do most of the work for you, with you. But again, I want to blueprint you all the time and talk to you to make sure I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do. Every time something you run into a problem, I'm going to give you a solution. It's very simple, as this would be increasing for up to $1 million plus dollars in credit to finance every entity. This is 1,000 down. It's 14,000 as a balance. Again, it's a $15,000 program, and it's for 6 months. You're stuck with me, and the goal is to build residual income. Now, if you want this year and next year, I call it a 12-month program, but it's about 15 different months. Again, we're going to do the same thing. With this one here, it's going to be multiple locations. This is what your focus is. At least 3 locations, and that's what you should look at to build residual income up to $100,000 a month. But again, I got to get you involved in the program, and I'm going to hold your hand, do most of the work with you, for you, and get you not to screw up anymore. That is called residual income, and that is the goal. If you do this program, you can put 1,000 down. Very simple, again, as we teach you and train you, and then you're going to have 5, 6 payments of literally $5,000. Okay, and the goal is simple. If you basically, it's 31,000 total. That's this year, next year, and rebuilding your whole life to build residual income up to at least, I think, 100,000 plus a month. Again, you get a 15% discount when you pay in full, so it's 25,000. When you're in this program, you paid in full, we give you another 25,000 of bonus cash credit. If you want us to build you $1 million, we're going to charge you $29.99 per month and build up to that $1 million during this 15-month program. Again, if you want to lock it in today, it is $1,000 Zelle. If it's not done by Zelle, when they're sold out, that's it. I'm putting 10 and 8, so that's all I'm going to do. Next year, I have a radio and TV show. I'm not going to be available 6 days a week. So the goal for you is to look in the mirror, size yourself up, ask yourself what you did yesterday to get to the $1 million dream. You probably had the same rerun you've been having. That should actually stop. I'd like you to think about like the lists that come out every Monday at 6:12 Pacific Standard Time. There's a list for probate. There's a list for repo, divorce list, bankruptcy, and maybe you want to sell supply and vendor credit. So your corporation should have up to $1 million of credit, divisions, checkbook money, supply and vendor money. That's what it should have. By the time you're done looking and turning around, if I keep pushing in my way, you have about a $10 million company. Biggest problem we still have is you. Don't think, just do. I like to make you a money-making machine, if that's okay. Or you can even take 100,000 to $1 million, vendor and supply credit called OPM, and utilize the program that I wrote with Dun & Bradstreet years ago too, selling on Amazon and eBay. But that's up to you. Now I'm going to show you goodies I obtained through the corporation again and again. God's gift, boats and race boats in the harbor, and goodies and yachts, Duffy's, Lamborghinis, buildings. So you have the ability to accomplish your goal. The reality is you haven't accomplished it on your own. I like to do it with you, for you, and coach you through the process and do most of the work for you anyway. There's me in 1981. Highest kick, fastest kick on planet Earth. So white men do jump. Unfortunately, some people, stupid people, say we don't. Next, from there, I kicked out the lights that night. No matter where you come from, you can accomplish your goal. The goal is to understand, to believe it, receive it, go get it. One of my first cars was a Quintos Lamborghini. From there, I don't hear the word no. You hear no and you accept it. No doesn't mean no, it just means I don't know how. From there, let's understand you have 1,000 steps to millionaire. From there, I'd like you to basically have a legacy more than just being a memory and basically someone selling your goodies when you're dead, like a swap meet. I'd like you to write down irrevocable trust right now, please. UCC1. A house has a deed of trust, car has a pink slip. The assets in your house and your office should be listed on UCC1. I want you to write down UCC1 and Google it later today. That's the entitlement of ownership. I want you to take your list of all your personal assets on the UCC1, turn it in chattel mortgage, and connect it to a UCC1 irrevocable trust. When you do this, understand, now you know where your goodies go when you're dead. All right, the reality is that's what you should do. I believe the Kennedys, the Hiltons, the Firestones, Gettys, Fords did it right. Families were always unified and together. Nowadays, a lot of it's all screwed up. If we leave a legacy and we train our children's children, we can leave them a legacy to basically not just be a memory and a little thing they get to keep. So I planned 3 things in my life. I planned the problem, I planned to live, I planned to die. So I want you to understand, draw that diagram in front of you. Bank of America bankrupt thousands of locations. All your banks do call branch numbers. Sam's Club, Geico, cities. So if we understand how they do it, we can do it ourselves too as a division process. That means we can stop bringing the pain home. We can become a certified CFO. We can reprogram our brain to millionaire status. And I wrote my blueprint. When I started, I was 9.5. I call it see it, believe it, go get it. You might want to write it down for you to master that too. As we play, there are 5 things you need starting today. Because right now, I believe you're treading water and playing it safe. Can we write down the 5 things? You got your tab and pen ready to begin? Number 1, a true 750 score. Not care credit and first premier. Corporation with divisions. You need basically cash credit up to $1 million. You need basically checkbook money and supply and vendor money too. That is a must-have. That's the only way you can. Without that, you can't get to $1 million dream. From there, your corporation should manage entities, division process, and stop bringing the pain home. All right, put your ducks in a row. Let me repackage you under the same corporate umbrella. So my radio and TV show next year is going to take most of my time. All I'm going to do is coach you next year, period. So this year, get as much as you can. The ultimate goal, get in a coaching program too. Now, I help rich and famous people all the time. They listen better than most of you. What did you do? You had your kitchen table meeting with your friends and family. You said you're going to start a business. Oh, goody for you. What did you do? Simple. Hopefully somebody with common sense would say, what if something went wrong? Well, what did you do? You hawked your credit cards. You jacked them up. You dropped your score. You got stuck. You can't get any more. You backed yourself and found me in a corner, and you couldn't run a diddly squat. Is that about true? I call that silly and dumb. The reality is we don't do that anymore. You're going to learn the rules and tools, and we're going to enforce that discipline on your life. Now, write down today's date, project 90 working days. All right, you're going to go see it, believe it, go get it. You're going to fall down 1,000 times. You're only going to win 10 anyway. That's how it works. As we play, I wrote Winning the Game of Business 45 years ago. Page 6 said cash flow free up your time on basically paragraph 3. I created cash flow free up my time since I was a kid. So there I am, dead in a coma, 2009. Come out from work millions and billions of dollars, helping people 6 days a week at the Bonovich of 32 years every Wednesday night. Bottom line is I got to die. Wife wants to take one of the yachts out with a group of people in the backyard. We have 3. Very simple. She tells people at the office, he's in a coma, he's going to die. She finds Ron stealing my books and CDs. Tom, my IT guy, sold my websites and my phone numbers to a porn site, so never call the phone number on the CD. Again, the people around you. I sold that at the Bonovich for $5,000 a set for 32 years. And if you want a copy today, it's free. All you pay is $99 shipping handling. From there, again, Zelle, Ray Reynolds recipient, ray@racecredit.com. You write down RW when you Zelle, your name and your address, what you Zelle for too. Ultimate goal, you can always call the office, 800-254-9506. Starting a business, running a business, you don't know if they're going to push off the cliff. They're going to catch you. You're just going to die. Hold your breath, please. When I was a little boy being used and abused, it sucked. I had to get up at 2:25 every day. If I got up at 2:30, the abuser would get me. So the reality is I've been waking up at 2:25 ever since then. I woke up this morning, dropped to my knees, thank you, Jesus, for another day. Then I go look in the mirror. When you don't have a family, a mommy and a daddy, or a family, all you live in is hell, your choice is to feel sorry for yourself, which is 3 minutes or less, or see it, believe it, go get it. I put myself in the raised mirror test since I was 2.5 years old. I put myself in check every day. You listen to your friends and family. And every time you tell them an idea, they interrupt you, say, you can do this and that instead. They try to tell you how to redo your own damn idea, and they don't have a clue what the hell they're talking about anyway. But again, the reality is, don't let them cloud your direction. 2009, there's one of the yachts. Wife wants to take one out, no problem. There I am dead. I get to hear what's going on in the room, kind of weird. Tax attorney tricks my wife to sign a POA. Nurse asked my wife if I was a donor, but Jesus said, stay in peace or go back. So the reality is, for my life, I had to get out of hell, but I had to move 24 times. I'm 11.5 years old. Been shot twice, knifed 6 times. It kind of sucks. But again, feeling sorry for yourself is 3 minutes and less. But again, I believe I'm God's example for you. From there, I got a book coming out this year called Jesus is Not a Drive-Thru. Being a Christian's a way of life, not a moment in time. From there, I have another one called Bite Your Tongue, Love Longer. This is for men to shut up, don't talk to a woman the way you talk sometimes, because they never forget, and they're like a tape recorder, and you can't take back what you say anyway. And this is good for moms and daughters too. Ultimately, go fighting the monster within. How about bullshit doesn't pay your bills? And fighting the pain. So we got a choice. So I believe you're stuck. Let's get you past go. Show you the Lamborghini collection, the Duffys, the mansions, and how I broke the record. And white men do jump, and stupid people say we don't. More Lamborghinis, race boats, helicopters, U-Dogs, yachts, and Ferraris too. Would you like a couple goodies? I call this Ray's Rules. I use my blueprints, see it, believe it, go get it. That's why you need to learn for you. Now, credit repair is a fraud. I can't believe grown-ups that are intelligent are stupid enough to pay a credit repair company $100 a month for years and still have shitty credit. I don't understand, stupid. All right, all this BS out there. Let's understand something. The Federal Trade Commission says it's fraud. Credit Repair Act says it's fraud. You can write down Section 611 and Google it today. You have an open collection account. They can't remove it. If they do, it'll come back anyway. So you have to negotiate a debt. From there, you have to man up, woman up, and be responsible and not rip off your creditor. Remember, TRW started it all, called the reports wrong, or Thomas Raymond Warridge, and they made bicycle parts. And from there, they became Asperian, and I designed this years ago. So you stop doing the teeter-totter and jacking it up, screwing it up. Unfortunately, nobody wants to teach you how to play besides me. So all cards use good, fair, or no, but 2. So keep in mind today, all right, I'm certified by the NACB, but again, what are you going to do? You're going to negotiate any open collection account. You have to. All cards are what? 25, 29% rule. A rapid rescore. Now you have a 750 score. That's how easy it is. What are you going to learn? The KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. And that's what you get to do. 25 steps today. All right, out of the 1,000. Intuit bought Credit Karma December 3rd, 2020. Credit Karma was indicted for $3 million because they lied just a little bit. They have no phone number to help you. I'd like to analyze your credit today, all right, and tell you exactly what I need you to do to get your 750 in 90 days. I'd like to call your case number in rotation at 1:30 Pacific Standard Time on a Saturday, if you allow me to. I'd like you to think about the SS5 you didn't pay attention to. All right, name to be shown on card, full name of birth other than above. SS5 form creates the SSN in 1040. Pull out your Social Security card in your pocket or purse right now, please. Look at it. It'll say do not laminate, don't carry with you, and don't use for ID purposes. It belongs to such administration, not you. You got the number to create your 1040 tax return, and that's all you did it for. Next, you got your first paycheck a long time ago, and you said, where's my money? And they pointed out the IRS gets her cut, you get the leftover. That's what makes us a bunch of ducks and sheep. If you listen and learn today, I'll rebuild your life to the millionaire status you need to be. You'll learn the SS what? 1244, SSN and SS4, and almost never pay tax again. From there, your personal life should be a break even. As you balance your debt, get the discipline you've been lacking all along, and I know you're going to say you have an emergency anyway, and I'm going to show you how to play that game too. So we put our hands here, tax, 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 probate when we're dead, no taxes due, pay all the bills first, pay tax on the leftover. I want you to be in control of your life and balance the debt. Repackage you under the SSN. From there, as a CFO for the corp and the divisions. As you master the SS4 that I teach you to do, choose wisely from now on, be a double CFO. Put your ducks in a row under the same corporate umbrella and protect your family and the corporation too. There's that SS5. Let's compare it to SS4. The reality is what you didn't do for you. Legal name of entity, bank, grocery store, city, or your name right there on line 1. So understand something today. If you actually tear it apart and you understand, it says banking and credit purposes per each one. Your problem is you didn't learn to play. And I'm going to hold your hand every step of the way. I want you to have a division of me. That way you can get credit, property, franchise. I want you to stop bringing the pain home. Every tax ID allows me to set a credit report instantly. From there, my dashboard gets to pick SSN, SS4, person, corp, division, subsidiary. What would you like to pick? See, you didn't allow yourself to be one, and that kind of sucks. It's a lonely number. You brought the pain home, and that should not happen after today. Your corporation's allowed to do 4 things. Buffer tax, no tax to due to you, profitable. Corporate credits are write-off, cart, fleet price, hotel, free buffet. Your divisions are your line of defense, multiple functions. All right, they're cheap, multiple credit reports, buy at wholesale price, and separate liability. So a division process that I invented allows you not to bring the pain to the corporate or your family. And you can knock off the crap you've already did for you. Build you a corporate umbrella, building the credit right away. But it's up to you to let me rebuild you my way. I will guarantee what I say I can do 100%. As long as you do what I ask you to do, and I'm going to tell you what to do, and you're going to go to class, not following you up, and follow through. Violation is jacking up cards and applying during the program. And if you do that, I have to close your case or charge you a fee because you screwed up the rapid rescore and everything I'm trying to do for you. From there, past cannot chase future. You have a debt, there's 5 ways to kill a debt. IRS have a problem with that too. 656, 433, A and B. Step 3. Now let's understand today, the 750 is waiting for you. I'll guarantee it if you do exactly what I ask you to do. I want to analyze your credit today. I want to put you in a rapid rescore. I want to show you I got this person 96 points in 3 damn days. They did what I told them to do, and I did what I told them to do, and I did my job and created green lights too. Up, up, and away. 750, I'll guarantee anybody in a rapid rescore if they do what they're told to do, as long as they also follow through part of the program. Very simple. Nice lady. She got a 651. Why? She didn't have bad credit. She asked me. I said, why are you using half your cards? My banker, my attorney, my CPA told me to. I said, that's dumb, dumb, and dumber. Let's do a rapid rescore, balance your debt, and we get you an 801 and create green lights. Nice couple. All right, they basically filed bankruptcy. I go, why'd you file bankruptcy? I said, you should never file bankruptcy unless they're going to guard your wages or sell your house today in court. We went to a bankruptcy attorney. He sold us a bankruptcy. What do you think he's going to sell you? A pickle or a banana? All right, they got tricked. Here's $500 unsecured right away, so we can build them up and away again. Next thing is a family, nice family. They have 11 collection accounts. Here's $3,000 to balance their debt. So if you let me rebuild you, rapid rescore, you go to class on Saturday. We target a 750 score. We're going to charge you $9.99, and we're going to give you a 1,000 card back to you. I want you to reimburse yourself. I want you to get the money back after I rebuild your life. During the broadcast, I wanted to discount this to $4.99, and the card becomes $500. That way it takes away excuses. From there, if you want a starter package for corporation, we're going to rebuild the credit rapid score anyway to be a CFO. We're going to give you the articles, also tax ID for free. If you have them, we'll build the one you got too. Set up in level 1 every Wednesday and Saturday, 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time with me. So what's going to happen is for $999, we're going to rebuild your credit, we're going to rebuild the corp and all the pieces, and then I'm going to give you $5,000 of credit. 5 times your investment and take away excuses. $24.99, $25,000 of credit. From there, I'm going to analyze, add history, and start popping credit started even today. Ultimate goal, as long as I can analyze you right away. So what do we get to do? Pretty simple. It's a Zell. Ray Reynolds recipient, Ray at rayscredit.com. You can always call the office, 800-254-9506. Now, you got another problem, because I want to rebuild everything you do. You're on the national mailing list. All right, maybe you're a voter like me. They sell that list 412 times a year. Cable Bill Corporation. Why don't you call 888-567-8688, opt out for 5 years, and get off the mailing list, slow the robocalls and the junk mail. The number's right in front of you again. Simple. The next thing I want you to do is start planning the problem. You allowed a friend and family member to rip you off. You spent thousands of dollars on crap that didn't work. So here we got safety credit, like I said, to stick you in the back of the card. You build your line of defense, 100,000, 71,000 of safety. Card, you put the limit, 25% maintained, never past 29%. And you build your line of defense. You act like a grown-up and don't bring the damn paint home anymore. Very simple. As I designed this years ago, all dashboards say 0 to 29 is green, 30 is yellow, 50 is red. From there, I want you to balance your debt and quit bringing the paint home. You're going to tell me you have an emergency, no more excuses. You don't jack up these cards ever again. You have 2 cards for the last 7 years, all right, that we push for have an average balance and a paid over time limit. So the only card you will jack up past 21% from now on will be gold and platinum cards. They don't fluctuate your credit. That way you never bring it down below a 750 ever again. So what do you do when you lose your job? Everybody runs out of time, runs out of money, and they can't wait to go jack up their credit 42 days and tell everybody, feel sorry for me. I don't think anybody gives a damn. So reality is up to you. Now let's pretend you need $5,000 now. Now, you said the word need. You ask your friends, your family, and the bank, they all say no anyway. But this card for $5,000 is $50 a month. So the reality is you can play the game and win. So understand they say you waste $140 a week. If that's true, that's $600 a month. If we take $50,000 off of a corporate credit card, we have to write it all off. That payment that you would have wasted anyway, you can get 2 pizza restaurants with a drive-through. The ultimate goal, using some common sense. White men do jump, says stupid people say we don't. Nixon took the gold standard out. Please write down, all right, Ray's rules. Please write down, the only thing that ever screws up from now on would be a division. The only thing you're allowed to ever let screw up is a division, not the corp in your family. I need you to have your cake and eat it too. I need you to play by Ray's rules. Step number 7, become a certified CFO and never bring the pain home again. Ultimate goal. So as we play this game, there I am in a coma. 2009, got to die. Google the address and find out I'm telling you the truth. I've been in 2 comas in my life. One, I was crippled for life, and Jesus said, get up, so I got up. Which freaked them all out too. Last time I got to die in a coma, back and come and help you. So the devil's trying to knock you down and hold you back. But guys, delays aren't God's denials. So if you let me repackage you like Humpty Dumpty my way, you'll quit bringing the pain home in the first place. Corporations, illegal persons, Chapter 18, may sue or be sued. The lack of knowledge is why people do stupid things. And the reality is your division's going to give you the line of defense. You're never going to bring the pain home again. A division under the corporation. What do I get to do if I build your corporate umbrella for you? I get you the tax ID. I add basically the history. I pop your cards to the division. I line you up for checkbook money. You get to write it off anyway. Ultimate goal, you get to play and win. Usually 9 divisions up to $1 million, 41 up to $5 million. Look at your corp today. Look at it on Secretary of State's website again. Verify them telling you the truth when they sue the corp because you didn't put your ducks in a row. They sue you, which kind of sucks. The bottom line is build a line of defense. That would be the ultimate goal as we play the game. I'm going to say this is pathetic. This is ridiculous. This man is healthy enough to go get a friggin' job. Take the kids to the church. They'll give you the food. Go drive an Uber and a Lyft. I was worth billions. 2009, they stole my life. I came out of the coma. All right, wife and kids. What am I supposed to do? I took out my blueprint. I sold my wedding ring, my Rolex, my necklace, my bracelet. From there, I took a corporation and I built $1 million of credit again. This is ridiculous. He's got to get off his ass and go build the damn business he should have did in the first place, like every one of you should do. It's up to you if you want to basically keep bringing the damn pain home. Again, what did I do for John and Nancy? They're selling their house, but they sell their house, then they got to pay gains tax because they're downsizing their life. Hell no. Sign a mortgage. Take the down payment, go buy another house. Borrow money's not taxable. I invented this called hopping years ago. Kind of fun. So if we take a corporation card, I want to get you 9 sisters. Would that be okay? I get you up to $1 million. How about checkbook money too? I invented daisy chaining of credit. Simple to do. The division is simple. I get a tax ID. I can put 2,000 in history. I start the credit reports for you. And that's the goal. And from there, each division is going to cost you $4.99, 3 for $14.97. And if you want them right now, you Zell or call the office right away. 800-254-9506. See, I like goodies. I didn't like eating out of a trash can. I knew I wanted to get out of hell and driving the Harley and the Love Ride too. Your choice is up to you. $1 million of cash cards, $5 million of checkbook money should be your goal today. From there, making a money-making machine. You can sell on Amazon and eBay and sell supply and vendor credit. The only problem is Amazon's going to change in the next 3 months to 3 years, so be prepared for the change. But again, it's up to you as we play the game. Very simple to do. So let's rebuild you, and then from there, let's take that green Spark card, unlimited times 9, the B of A times 9, the Wells Fargo times 9, the Inc times 9, and then the gold times 9. So we can build up to $5 million, not counting the other 5 cards. But now let's not forget about checkbook money. Corporations are allowed to get checkbook money up to $500,000, and as long as you've been in business for 2 years. It's unsecured. My 5 favorites for me are very simple. These are the 5 that I like the most, but there's other ones too. Checkbook money, up to $5.4 million. Again, corporate divisions. As we play the game, we learn to win. Now, specialty classes on Saturday. I have up to 10 classes Saturday from 6 in the morning till basically 5 in the afternoon. The specialty this weekend is daisy chaining of credit. Okay, and tax balancing. So we're going to play about tax balancing assets and receiving money. It starts at 8:30 in the morning. If you're not in specialties, it's $9.99 for 90 days. From there, if you want each one by itself, it's $4.99. From there, I want you to focus on borrow money is not taxable. Let's take it to buy your lifetime income. The only thing that should ever be able to screw up would be a division, not the corp in your family. That way you have your cake and eat it too. Raise rules, become a certified CFO, and the reality is never bring the pain home again. If I give you a check for $1 million, hypothetically, you'd probably put it in your personal account. Sorry, they'd only let you keep $375. I'd say put it in the corporation, leverage it to $15 million, pay all the bills first, pay tax on the leftover. No leftover seems to be no tax. So if we look at the United States of America Incorporated, they have bankrupt 11 cities so far. So corporations became states, states become cities, and basically that's how they play, and they created Chapter 9 bankruptcy. You could do the same thing for you and your family as long as you have no intent to do fraud, the ultimate goal. Now, I'd like you to look at Google today and understand basically the SSN and SS4. All right, but the bottom line is very simple, and that's how we play. Yes, I want answers, but from you. Well, this is not Q&A, John. The reality is I send it to you because I'm busy every second of the day. You're asking me a silly, trivial question, what is September 17th about? That's common sense. Everybody knows that's the second pass of the Constitution. But again, all right, if you ask a silly question, I'm going to give it to my employees to give it to you the answer because I got real work to do. So Google, bankruptcy, SSN, SS4. Who's going to be the duck the next time? You, corporation or division, subsidiary. Your choice is very simple today as we play the game to win, as we do this. So let's understand, if you let me add you to my system, I can build you up to $1 million. But you're going to have to go to class, learn the rules and tools, and learn to play. But again, you need to follow through what I tell you to do. So if you have a starter package, let's say you want the corporate dream. Corporations are free, you pay a little filing fee. Let's rebuild your credit to be the first CFO. If you have the articles, we'll build it till you have. If not, I'll hand you articles, also tax ID for free. Set up in level 1 or every Wednesday and Saturday live with me, have been for the last 45 years. Again, my last and final year, $9.99, very simple, give you $5,000 of credit back to you. $24,999 is going to give you $25,000 of credit. I want to make sure you get 5 to 10 times your money back. I want to take away excuses because that's the focus. Analyze, add history, pop credit right away. And that would be the goal. All right, you to learn to be a certified CFO as we play the game. So let's understand today, all right, the discounting things we offer you can do right away by Zelle, or you can call the office right away and talk to a specialist. That's what the ultimate job is for them to do. Run your life, all right, beat your doubt. Your goal is to basically see it, believe it, go get it. So let's think today about getting past go, because I only show goodies I obtained. From there, God's gift in the harbor. All right, mansions in the harbor too, race boats, yachts, and say RayReynoldsUniversity.com, because I like to market the companies, and on top of that, show that I obtained it, the real goodies too. Helicopters, Lamborghinis, and buildings. I'd like you to think about changing your driver's license for privacy to a P.O. box or mailing address. That's up to you. As we do this, very simple. As we go through this is step 12. Now let's look at your car you drive today. The car you drive today is very simple. All right, you went to the dealership, they sweated you for 5 hours, treated like a duck and a sheep, and you allowed that. You probably lost up to 10 to 20,000, and then you got up to 9 inquiries. That's not how you buy a car. A car should be fleet price, tax ID division, so you can write it all off. But the ultimate goal is simple. You buy a house, please don't put 2 people on the loan. You don't create a loan of value for 2. Problem, if you lost the house for the car, it shouldn't be yours. All right, the bottom line is they're going to report it to your credit file. You'll have what I call shitty credit, sorry to say. And then they report it to the IRS as a 1099-C. Reality is very simple. Now you got double shitty credit and an IRS problem. So I need you to start thinking about planning the problem. Planning the problem is like a division is a return of a car, not you. And planning that is simple. From here, I'd like you to think about John and Mary. All right, what I did for them, and then even John and Nancy here, because there's both of these names common. I didn't want them to pay gains tax. And they said they're going to downsize and sell their house. I said, what are you going to do? Again, there's many ways to do this, but I said, why don't we do this? Assignment of mortgage. You take that deposit in escrow, you buy the house you want to buy, and you do an assignment of mortgage for 30 years. Borrow money is not taxable. Now, I started to do this as a kid when I was 17, 18, 19 years old, and I said, I'm hopping my properties. So I called it hopping. If you get properties you want to maintain, which you should, all right, please put them in divisions. Our problem is we don't know if that tenant's going to slip and fall and sue us and kind of mess us up. Next thing is your paycheck is offset by your house payment. Amazon didn't pay tax on the 10 billion, and they don't pay tax on the double trillion they're worth today. So we can learn to play the game. So let's understand today, simple, there's no loophole. They're allowed to do what they're doing. If we look at basically this gentleman here who bought Twitter within 24 hours using the line of credit, I think he's totally and totally dumb. Then he won X marks the spot. He screwed up the whole company, in my opinion. But he's got a spaceship. So do the other two guys. So the reality is it's going to be up to you. You can join the club and you can win the battle too if you want to. Step 15. Now, it is a thing about reference here. It's like when Apple was in bankruptcy in 97. Bill Gates was indicted 4 times because they called it monopoly. Kind of like Google's in court this week and last week because they were indicted. Google, okay? Again, what happened with Apple? Well, Bill Gates said he wanted to create competition for himself. He didn't want to be indicted again. He wrote a check for $150 million from a line of credit. Then he told them to maintain the payment. Bottom line is, I want you to understand, borrow money is not taxable. And the ability, that's how you build a business. And that's what they do all the time too. Run your life through a corporation or in conjunction. Pay tax, buy a Lamborghini. See, your paycheck is known as taxable income. The leftovers are what you get, and you pay car payment, gas, registration, insurance. I would yell no if I was you. The ultimate goal is very simple. All right, drive a company car like I do, step 17. Next, I'd like you to get an SS4 today. Go to irs.gov and find out I'm telling you the truth. It says banking and credit purposes. You never had to be a duck and a sheep. Unfortunately, you followed ducks and sheep and you became a duck and a sheep. The goal is to stop that starting today. Mama, ever since 71, Nixon took the gold standard out. Every woman mama has to do what? Sign the SS5 for the baby for SSN. Baby gets to go home while they bond the baby up to $35 million apiece. Everything to me is rules and tools. Escrow, close, homestead, trust. You have a house not in a trust. When they sue you, they want to take it away. You die, your family gets stuck in a probate, and they get diddly squat. Fix up a property, you hire the contractor, the subcontractor, stand outside Home Depot. And what happens next is someone slips and falls, they want to sue you and take everything you got. My way, they're going to get diddly squat. You might again think about irrevocable trust. Please, step 19, 6 more to go. From there, if you're not filing your tax returns, you want to be a crook, you can't play peekaboo with the IRS making a mess. The best way is work within the system. Wesley Snipes listened to his attorneys and CPAs. He went to prison for 3 years, fined $5 million. Do not play peekaboo with the IRS making a mess. If you tried it, get their phone call 656-433-A and B. The ultimate goal, step 20. You can learn to be an OPM. That means you save up to 70%, pay a bill after 90 days. You close an escrow, you leverage it to $15 million. Borrow money is not taxable. You create your line of defense. I call that blackjack number 21. You get to win. From there, the bottom line is, here's my office in 2009. It was one Technology Drive, Irvine Spectrum, 22,000 square foot building. 3 locations in other states, up to $1 million a day. All right, getting in a coma, stole my life. What do I do when I'm homeless again? I took out my blueprint. I didn't go home and go boohoo like most people do. And I basically took my blueprint, see it, believe it, go get it. The ultimate goal is why I have my 5 closet divisions and 3 divisions of me. And what did I do? I built another $1 million of credit. Credit's the only way you're going to get to the American dream. You have to finance it and write it off. Unless you're going to win the lottery and someone's going to hand you $1 million. You got 1,000 steps to millionaire. 45 years in person or online helping people like you. Credit, loan, and money. Financial freedom. You have to build residual income so you can basically free up your time. Cash flow, free up your time, what I put in my book 45 years ago, because that's how it works. If you want that $100,000, I'll add you to a system, build it for you, corporate division. Normally we charge about 10%. So it's about $10,000. The office will discount it for $39.99. Today, if you like it, we'll add it to you, corporate divisions. You pick it, it's for $1,999. It is a Zell, or call the office right away. Now, why you didn't create residual income is the key, because you have the right to do this. But again, that's the biggest mistake most people do. They don't build income coming in a monthly base. I don't care if it's $1,000 a month and you multiply it to 50. Again, don't own the business, all right, the way you want and run it. Own it so it's an investment as a division. Again, real estate franchise, profit sharing, leveraging money and credit. That's what you got to get ready for. That's why I have my coaching program. I get people in a residual income. A client I'm arguing with last week, simple. I got him as basically one division for a laundromat. He wants to work there. No, let the management company do their job, get the $30,000 a month and go get another one or something else. Again, management companies. My other client, I'm getting him a Chevron gas station. They want $1.4 million. Okay, 250,000 down. We put it in escrow and we go get it. You just maintain the credit to do it, and it pays for itself. Management company. Once again, we don't want to run the business. We want to own it and be an investor. From there, it's simple as I do Faizuli's, Colombian coffees, and the franchises I'm creating myself. $95,000 in a weekend. What do we get to do? Each location. So think about a coaching program that you and I work personally. All right, and I do most of the work for you and with you, and I want you to focus on real estate, franchise, current business. If not, I'll line one up for you. Okay, current business or future new business. 3 months, your goal is to get up to $50,000 a month positive cash flow, free up your time. Next thing I want to do is get you all these pieces and classes with me, and then I want to basically be in person to do a monthly blueprint and make sure you're on track. The weekly calls to make sure you're following through. Next thing is I need to certify you because you need to learn how to do these things on your own. I'm going to train you to do that and even daisy chain the credit into probably up to $1 million. It's $1,000 down in this program for 3 months. It's very simple. All right, the balance will be $7,000. It's about an $8,000 package. And as I build you credit, you follow through and do what you're told to do. You might even use the credit I build you to pay us for the rest of the fee. But that's a 30-month program. From there, the 6 months program does more. This is where we get you in the first unit, and we want you to follow through real estate, franchise, storage units, maybe a laundromat. Okay, again, I want you getting residual income on a monthly base. The 6 months program, same thing, blueprinting, but then you're stuck with me for 6 months, so we can accomplish a unit, right, and cash flow, free up your time. You got to create that. The goal is for 6 months, you're stuck with me. Next year, I'm only going to be doing coaching programs. That's it. 1,000 down. The balance is 14,000. And the reality is your balance will be about 15,000 when we're done. All right, 13,999. Total is about 15,000 for the package. As I build it up and away, if you're locked into one of those 10, you can actually pay how you want to pay, negotiate it with the specialist, or you maybe use the credit I build you. The 6 months now is nice. I think the 12 months is my favorite one because my graduates in 2008 were cash calls, speedy cash, and be broke time, Title Max, all these other silly things. We took people that create money into millions and billions. So the 12 months, it's actually more than that. It's like 15 months. It's the rest of this year and all next year. Now, franchise, this is where you're going to learn to be a master investor. All right, why don't we get multiple units? Franchise, all right, real estate, storage units, and laundromats. I like to have divisions for all of those. I want to convince you to do those and show you how to go get them anyway. And think about up to $100,000 a month positive cash flow. Again, what do we do? All classes and videos with me privately. From there, we're going to blueprint you every month in person or online. And I got to train you to learn how to do these things on your own. The goal is you have to be that certified CFO. You should daisy chain credit to about $5 million by this time. And again, it's up to you. It's $1,000 down to reserve your space. But again, then it's 6 payments of $5,000. It runs $31,000 to build you up to that $1 million. And we get to daisy chain credit we get you as well, and all the things for now and the rest of this year and next year. If you pay in full, you get a 15% discount, is $25,000. And you get a $25,000 bonus cash credit for your package if you pay in full. From there, if you want us to keep building $1 million of credit more and more and more, we're going to charge you $29.90 a month. So $29.99. As you build the credit for you and with you, you can use the credit to pay us as well. So you can kind of finance your way. That way, it should take away all the excuses. So by the time I'm done with that, about $66,000, you literally have up to $1 million of credit. You've got a year and a half of coaching with me. Let's say 15 months, somebody will be technical, this year, next year. And the goal is to get into multiple franchises. It is a Zell for your 1,000 now. To reserve your space, we're only putting 10 in each one. We're almost out of that too. So do it right away. RW, what you Zell for. All right, and then from there, you can work with the specialists if you need to as well. Corporations, a legal person may sue or be sued. So let's understand division process is how we protect the corp in our family. That's the goal. So I want you to think about a division of you. Because why? Division of me, I get what? Credit, house, franchise. I don't have to keep being me. Again, never bring the pain home. Each tax ID or SSN is instant credit report for you. Again, I get to use either one. Which one would you like me to do? All right, hopefully tax ID. Corporation, division, or person, or subsidiary. We get to play the game. And that's the ultimate goal you should think about doing today. Most of you, probably none of you, you build residual income. And that's, I would say, is the biggest mistake you did. So let's get 9 divisions up to $1 million, 41 up to $5 million. Build the umbrella for you, add history, tax ID, build credit reports. Each division is $4.99, 3 for $14.97. If you need to Zell now, please do. Now you can always call the office at 800-254-9506. What are you willing to lose? I had a problem. I didn't want to have a wife and kids unless I had a foolproof program because I don't want to bring the pain home like you. So the reality is I have a wife, 6 kids, and 10 grandkids. I'm not willing to sacrifice the corp because when they sue that, they sue you anyway because you're on the officer's list and you're the incorporator. Division process, the only thing I could come up with. Basically what happens, everybody gets checkmate and they get to win. That's step 23, by the way. So if we play this game correctly, like me, buildings and Lamborghinis, reaching the dream, think to be the impossible, as my wife calls this my hobby all the time because I love rebuilding someone's life. It's just fun for me. So we use a division and divisions incorporation. We train them as a certified CFO. Ultimate goal is very simple to do. Now, if you basically have, joint credit, it's just going to be in the way. I'm going to tell you to remove it. Buy a house, escrow, close, homestead, trust. Corporations are free. You don't pay for them, but the filing fee. You get divisions for real estate, franchise, current business, and line of defense. Raise rules because I like to give you bonus cash credit. And that way you take away excuses and write it all off anyway. Ultimate goal as we play the game. So there's step 24 for you. From there, being the certified CFO you need to be. If all you want me to do is rebuild your credit, 750, no problem. I'll analyze you. I'll do a rapid rescore. I'll put you in class, focus on 750, charge you usually $9.99, give you 1,000 card back, discount the price to half price during the webinar to $4.99, then a card back to you for $500 and reimburse yourself. Positive credit reporting anyway. If you starter package, it's simple. Articles also tax ID are free if you have from there too. From there, rebuild your credit. Level 1 and setup is every Wednesday, Saturday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. The goal is for $9.99 to rebuild your life, give you basically 5 times your money back, $5,000 of credit. $24.99, give you $25,000 of credit, 5 times back too. Analyze, add history, start popping credit right away. That's the ultimate goal. As you do this, use Zell, or you call the office right away at 800-254-9506. See, referrals are great. If you give referrals, I'll build more credit for you. If you refer, you want me to give you 10% Zell to you, I will, but that referral better name your name when they sign up. And it's not on discounted pricing as well. So I always give you my email so you can give me their name and address too. So that way you get credit for that. If we take a corporation today, and we look at the banks that own corporations owning corporations, they bankrupt locations called branch numbers. Division process, so I want you to think about Sam's Club, Geico, cities. So we the people, can stop bringing the pain home. We can become a certified CFO, and we can reprogram our brain to millionaire status. We can look behind the curtain, stop bringing the pain home. If you stay doing the same thing you do every day, it's the same rerun. If you don't step up to the plate now, the reality is you're going to have the same thing again and again. You might as well be sitting on that bench waiting for the bus with no ticket. If you act like the building's on fire and you stop your reruns, we can get you past go. ultimate goal. We stay safe, we stay strong, we do our best. Jesus does the rest. Amen to that too. The ultimate goal is repackage everybody who allows me to do it. So today, the ability to go get the goodies, see it, believe it, go get it. What I would tell you right now is Zell. Call the office right away. Ask for a specialist, 800-254-9506. The ability every one of you have is to repackage your life. The ability is to basically have for you the ability to get past go. And that's what I'd like you to think about today, is always getting past go as you're trying to do what you need to do for you. And coaching makes sense and it's simple to do. I get off the phone with people. We did applications this morning. It was fun getting somebody basically a venture. All right, that was nice. The ink card was good. We even did a platinum American Express. But again, the goal is having the ability to get past go. So any other questions, ask your specialist right away, 800-254-9506. Usually Q&As are during the class, not in a free overview anyway. So let's do our best. God does the rest. Amen to that too. And never forget at the end of the day, God loves us all.